Hello everybody, welcome to Reverse Homesteading. Today we're going to plant some potatoes and some garlic. So it's autumn or fall here in the Melbourne cool temperate region. So now is the time to plant potatoes. You can plant them in spring as well if you like. These, I have chitted them. That means let their little eyes grow. And you need to do that in a dark cupboard, and or I kept them in their bag as well. So yeah, just put them in a hole that's just deep enough for them to do their thing in some good soil, but don't fertilise it too much. Potatoes don't like a whole lot of fertiliser. So yeah, roughly put the eyes up and loosely just put some soil over there, and then mulch. I don't actually have the mulch with me right now. But yeah, so I'll be planting those Gippsland Gold ones, and I also have some Dutch creams which I'll put in the other half of the bed. So yeah, I'll just grab my little dibber that my lovely son gave me. Yeah, so obviously this is the whole corm of garlic. Whoops. And yeah, it's fantastic if they start shooting. This is Australian grown garlic. Yeah, the imported stuff is almost always fumigated with nasty chemicals. I think one of them is bromide, which, you know, who wants to eat that? Yeah, so I have heard the Aussie ones are also fumigated at times. So, you know, if you can get organic garlic, that's fantastic. So that's probably as close as you want to plant them from each other. I've got one in there already. Yeah, just pop it in the hole just so that the tip is up there. Now I've had some rats around and possums, that sort of thing, so I will be netting this area. And yeah, because I have had little creatures eat my garlic before. I would have thought they weren't that brave, but no, they will do that. So yeah, so mulch it well, and yeah, have fun with that. And don't forget to water them in. One more thing I was going to show you today was what I do with eggshells. So obviously I've been saving these up for a little while. I actually moved house and realised I still had some. So eggshells can take up a lot of space. So once I've finished with the egg, I don't leave any egg white on them. If you're peeling eggs and some of the egg gets left on, don't do this with them, because you'll get all sorts of nasty bacteria happening. But yes, if you have clean eggshells, let them dry so they take up less space. I crunch them up and put them in here, so that's sort of broken up a little bit so they don't take up so much space. And then when I've got a fair amount, I have a coffee grinder, which I don't use for anything but garden things, and yeah, I grind it up into quite a fine dust, and that's fantastic for the garden. It adds calcium. I think it's calcium carbonate. It changes if you cook it. I have actually cooked this before, but the smell makes my hubby feel sick, and the smell does hang around. So a lot of people cook their eggshells in the oven, which I believe makes them more easily absorbed in the soil from water, by water, into water. Yeah, so even if you don't, it's still very useful to make them fine if you can. So whiz them up, crunch them up. This will be much more readily bioavailable, they say, in the soil. So yeah, just cast it over when you're going to grow something. I've heard that potatoes really like calcium. So tomatoes too. Some people disagree about blossom end rot. It's usually intermittent watering, yeah, not steadily watering the same, but yeah, just, I don't know, every little bit helps, doesn't it? So yeah, if you're starting a new bed, give it a bit more of a head start with some extra calcium. And that's great for your worm farm too, to actually add some calcium, some eggshells crushed up, especially if it's finer like this. Don't overdo it, but it's great to just keep the worms healthy and help them digest their food. It's sort of like chickens and shell grit, I think, as well as it I believe it alkalizes the worm farm, so it doesn't get too acidic. But yeah, there are a few home tips for you, and I hope you have fun with that. Happy planting, whatever you're doing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.